Welcome to the Clean Truth, where we like to call bullshit on the status quo. What's up? Welcome back to the Clean Truth. Silver Fox, Scotty. Noah's in the corner. You can't see him. We got a cool episode today. We have a little surprise. But first, we have to do the weekly ball busting. And you, sir, get the brunt of it.
Looked over at Scott, hoping it wasn't coming towards me. I can only imagine.
Your eyes? Yeah.
Can we talk about this email signature?
Come on.
Have you heard about this yet?
No. What do we got?
6 o'clock in the morning, I'm drinking my coffee. I see an email come through from Ben to one of the franchisees. He signs it Big Ben.
No.
Yeah.
Can I just ask why?
Because I knew that would get like a few laughs like early in the morning, get him fired up. He sends an email. One of our franchisees wants to start expanding. And I think he emailed us at 5:30 or something like that. And you responded back. I think you responded back saying like let's get it rolling. And so I was like, might as well start a party here. So I said, yeah, Big Ben. Let's get it. It's all good. I'll take it.
Let's not do that on a regular basis, shall we?
All right. You don't think we can catch on?
I am pretty proud of these. If you notice, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see these decks of cards here. If you're listening, we have a cool little surprise for you. We have official decks of the Clean Truth or Dare cards. I'm going to compare this to Cards Against Humanity. Closest thing I can describe it for people that can't actually see them.
Yeah.
It's probably similar.
It's a pretty big deck of cards. They split in half. You have truths and you have dares. These are so fucking funny, man. So cool.
And you can play to like a points, right? Like first person to.
Yeah, I mean the first card has look at my mug on it. That's pretty funny. But somewhere in here there's a rule card. How to play. No strict rules, only fun. It's kind of how I live. Shuffle the truths with the dares. Go around the table, drawing from the deck. Simple, right? Now let's call some bullshit on some people.
So if you pass and you don't want to take the card, like you would pass it on?
I mean, again, man, there's no rules. You just draw it and play. I think you can just make up your own damn rules.
Play how you want to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's for fun.
I mean, you could play with drinking or not drinking. Some of this should be pretty damn funny to see sober. Now, listen, I'm going to fair warn you. I have a sick and twisted, demented freaking mind. So some of these, I don't know if I would play these with your teenage kids.
What about with your mom?
Don't know if Pam's going to want to play this game.
I feel like these are kind of rated R almost.
No, I mean, they're...
PG,
I mean, I didn't go...
PG-13?
Yeah, PG-13.
Can we say 17, 18 maybe?
Some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
I mean, it just depends on what kind of parent you are.
But I think at the same time, like Cards Against Humanity,
yeah.
that's almost X-rated the normal version.
Right, yeah.
Anyway,
It's fun.
these are dropping today. So check out our merch site. Pick these up. I think they're $30 a deck, which isn't bad. This is a big-ass deck of cards.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they were this big until
well
we got
over
them.
100, right?
Yeah. It's pretty fat. We're going to play part of it. But before we get into the game, I have if you're watching on YouTube here, you can see our little merch site pulled up on the screen. I think the last episode we announced the Clean Eats Foundation. We will do a huge official launch of that, but we have a merchandise line out on our website. And go to cleaneats.com, click on the merch tab. But all of the proceeds for all of the merch that's on this site will be going to the Clean Eats Foundation and donated to charity. We're not keeping any of the profits from this.
Really cool.
From this stuff. So it's cool stuff, man. I mean, Yvonne and I didn't want to do like your typical run-of-the-mill clothing line. We were like, well, I want some different shit that nobody, wears. And we were kind of selfish. We were like, well, what would I want to wear? You know what I mean? They're not all just T-shirts and shit like that.
I'm wearing one of the shirts right now.
You are. All right. Let's play this game.
Who's that little guy on the screen?
Oh, man.
Look at the hot dog roll.
Can we zoom in on that?
Can you?
No.
It's a badass truck in the background, though.
We'll see a picture of Don's hot dog neck. Check out the merch site.
All right. Well, now our weekly clean truce. Every week we're just going to draw one of these cards without even looking at it.
You gonna shuffle it?
I did already.
Can I cut the cards to make sure?
No, I have one. I got one teed up.
Oh, see, I knew it.
After this one, though, I'm not going to do that. After this
I
one,
knew it, Scott.
I
Too
had a feeling,
predictable.
too.
we can't do the dares because obviously, I mean, we're in a small room,
Yeah.
so the dares are going to be hard. But if you guys buy one of these and you play the game and you tag us in it and tag the podcast, you never know. I might give you something. I want to see some people do that.
Love it.
All right, let's get to it. The first official truth. What is the craziest pickup line you've ever used and did it work? And don't you dare, you little wieners, tell me you've never used a pickup line. I'm going to call you a liar.
I'm trying to think. I don't know if I can't think of like a cheesy one that I've ever used. Like, is that what you're thinking? Like a bad one?
I mean,
I don't even know if I use it.
it says the craziest pickup line.
I wasn't a pickup line guy. Do you pickup lines?
I mean, pickup lines used to be cool.
I was going to say, like, I grew up in a different generation. We use pickup lines all the damn time. Sometimes it worked. Sometimes you got smacked in the face
I mean,
or laughed at.
the other one that I could think about is when I'd like joke around with my wife, and it's like, "You got fries for that shake?" Yeah, see, they're all kind of cheesy.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm not a pickup line guy.
Mine is probably, there was a bar that we used to go to all the time, right outside of where I grew up. It was called-
Girls.
No, they played that song, and not that kind of bar either. It was called Fireside. And Fireside is where dirty things happened. So I remember this one night I was in there and I was dancing with this girl and I was like, "Have you ever said sex in a bar bathroom before?" And I'm not shitting you. She looked at me and she was like, "No, you want to?" Now, the one thing you have to keep in mind about Fireside, little background story, this place was a fucking dump. It was dirty, nasty, the dirtiest place. The bathrooms didn't have doors on them. No doors in the bathrooms. Picture that for a minute. I'll leave the rest to your imagination.
Oof. Pam's not gonna like this one.
No,
All right. I was thinking about this. The last podcast we had Brett here, and I don't think we did a podcast for like a month prior to that. And I was a guest on a podcast yesterday, and they were telling me how, kind of how they format it and how they do it, and then my mind got going, and I'm like, man, we just do ours. And he was asking me the same questions. He's like, do you guys like schedule your podcast or like line it out or do anything? And I'm like, well, not really. It's not really something that we schedule and put
Right.
on
It's lunchtime.
an agenda. We always say we're going to, but like my job takes up a lot of my time. Your job takes up a lot of your time. You guys are always fucking editing something, so you guys are always busy. So it's kind of like, hey, we got a podcast this week? Nah, let's just wait till next week. Or hey, we got a podcast this week? Yeah, we're going to have 2 of them. It's never really consistent. So I kind of just broke it down simple. And I was like, we're always trying to put these off and try to find the right time to do them. But the basis of this podcast has always been to talk about training, nutrition, and some sort of business. It's kind of, we've always kept it simple.
Right.
I've never really gotten into the whole political thing because it's just not my style and I'm not really that good at it. We're going to talk about it a little bit today just because. But from now on, I think we should just do one a week. Talk about something within those 3 sectors and call it a day, man, and stop overthinking it. We need to start doing these podcasts more often.
Set the recurring day. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
All right. First one's training. And it's Squattober.
It is. It's the best month of the year.
How's your Squattober going?
fantastic, actually. I get a lot of people asking me that, like, how's it going for you? And I always answer good, I think. But I think that's because I look forward to it and I'm mentally prepared for it and have done it a few times. So at this point, I kind of know what to expect out of the training protocol. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I like it. I got goals and moving towards those.
What's your goal this year?
Get back to the 500 club on a back squat.
You hit that last year.
That's what I said, get back to it. Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to hit a lifetime PR by any means, but I know I don't train with a working max of 500 pounds on a daily basis, so kind of progress my way back to that.
What did we both hit last year? 510?
I think mine was right at 500 last year, and then the year before, that's when we were training really hard. We got pretty darn heavy.
Eating some carbs in the past couple of years. That's probably why.
Scotty, how's your training going?
Hey!
Hey, I squatted this morning. I didn't do the Squattober workout because I got my own thing, but,
What is your own thing?
it's work up to
Feng shui.
like a 5x5 and then do some athletic stuff after. That's pretty much the gist of it. It's pretty loose. It's good.
What was that 5x5 weight?
Oh,
A 30-pound kettlebell?
like it was like a 25-pound kettlebell. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't even back squat. You just
No, I did.
Noah, you over there? What are you training?
I'm a runner, so I'm working on my half marathon.
Oof.
Woof.
Are you signed up for one now?
Hopefully March.
Nice.
For
I think
people-
we should go ahead and sign you up so you're committed to it.
For people who can't hear, he said he's a runner and he's training for a half marathon.
Try to get a 10K time down, then 10 miles, 15 miles, go from there.
I like it.
I'm just training for this hunt, man. I'm doing anything I can just to keep my cardio endurance up. It's really the only thing I'm doing. I'm kind of pissed that I can't do Squattober, but
You still
would've
squatted the other day. I think we were talking about it.
I'm squatting. I'm just not following the program.
Yeah.
One of the cool things that we've been doing here is our entire company has been wearing Whoop straps. How long did we do that? We did it for a whole year.
We're
right?
coming up on the full year. Yep.
So Yvonne and I have been talking about whether or not we're going to keep this going, but I think half of our team kind of fell off the bandwagon.
Mine ran out. I didn't have any more.
So we're trying to decide, like, do we re-up the Whoops and get everybody back on it and do it? Or do we find something else? I think the fitness wearables was like a cool culture thing for us. It was like a cool internal, like,
Yeah.
cultural thing to do.
It's fun. It's definitely fun. I would do it again.
I
but
still enjoy mine. I don't think I've taken mine off since the day we
We're actually
started doing
kicking
it.
around the idea. There's a Garmin that's pretty reasonable. Buying everybody a Garmin. That way we don't have to pay the monthly membership thing. Because some of the features on Garmin, they don't have on Whoop. I mean, these things are kind of like everything else. Some of them have features that others don't that are
Right.
really good. And then others have the ones that aren't. You know what I mean? There's kind of a trade-off there.
Is the Garmin like a watch, like a bulkier?
Yeah. So I have the Phoenix 6. And I've got this, I stopped wearing my Whoop because I wanted this when I started training the Trisports again, because this Trisport app on here is way better than the Whoop.
I'm guessing Noah's in the back. Noah's probably wearing a watch because, like you said, you're running and Whoop doesn't
He's got
doesn't
is that
doesn't
Garmin?
time you necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah.
I want to go.
I don't know. I think it's something that we need to keep going, though. Some way, shape, or form.
We
Keeps
need to-
everybody accountable.
Yeah, we need to throw it on that new
Keeps the-
whiteboard and break it down.
Let's get into some nutrition, man. I get asked a lot about labels, like food labels. And so I actually had two people message me about this, just a random question about food labels, and they were asking like what some of this stuff means. And so first thing I wanted to say is go listen to episode 57. That was the food labeling podcast where we had Kenny here.
Yeah, that's really good.
Kenny broke a lot of that down and shed a lot of light on like the bullshit behind food labels and what is actually real. and that's coming from a real USDA inspector who purposely kept his face off camera so he didn't get in trouble for that, but was pretty honest, brutally honest with us. So, I mean, I would always urge people now, especially these days, to question where your food comes often. But I also think that people get a little too caught up in it. You know what I mean? Like they focus on the wrong shit way too much. And I think they should just focus on portion control first. Let's get that knocked down because most people struggle with portion control first.
Right.
And then start cracking down on, whether or not you're going to follow the keto mindset or carb cycling or any of that. If you don't know how to portion your food out or, eat with some sort of portion control, well, that's going to matter anyway.
What were they asking you about the labels?
I get a lot of questions on sodium.
Like
People are worried
asking
about
for
salt
our
and
sodium?
Yeah, like what is an acceptable range and what is, you know what I mean? Like just things like that.
When you were competing, did you ever even try to remotely track that? Or like when you were down to the nitty gritty?
No.
I think people get hung up on that too much.
I do too.
I mean, we salted our food.
Right.
There's always that myth with competing that you have to cut your water and cut your salt. They're both absolutely dead ass wrong backwards.
You want the water,
Yeah,
right?
you want the water and the sodium.
Yeah, you need it. Your body needs it.
Yeah. The other little note that I have on here is all of the boozy shit that you see in grocery stores isn't what you think it is. You know what I mean? Don't get hung up on a fancy looking package that says organic, grass fed. Like, just be careful with those labels. Check the ingredients. Check and see where they come from. And then I had another question. Somebody asked me if booze affected your diet. I'm kind of laughing at this question. And I'm like, if you have to ask that question, how much are you actually drinking?
Yeah, I would say it definitely does affect the diet. But everything's all right in moderation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guilty to have 3-ish glasses of bourbon a week. Like a one and done nightcap and go to bed. But I don't sit there and hammer a whole bottle in a week.
No.
I think that's perfectly acceptable.
So break it down. So why does alcohol affect the diet other than just extra calories?
Yeah, it's extra calories. It turns into sugar.
Yep. Which I think people don't realize that aspect, like you just said.
Mm-hmm.
That's like almost eating a dessert in a sense.
That's probably like I wouldn't say it's my worst because I'm still chewing here and there. But outside of that, it's probably like my only vice that I have. Other than that, I would be considered like what you call straight edge. Because I don't like booze and party that much.
Yeah. Haven't seen you smoke a cigar in years.
Man, I kind of lost that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still enjoy
You
it.
started giving away your cigars that were like dried up and
Yeah.
everything.
I don't know. That's the one reason I haven't done the 75 hard program, Andy's program.
Yep.
Because he has in there, one of the rules is no alcohol. I'm like, I'm not going to be one of those assholes that does the program and say, yeah, I did it, but, or, well, I did it, except, I just like bourbon and I'm not giving it up. I'm a pretty disciplined dude. Disciplined enough
Yeah, you wake up religiously at the same time.
that, I mean, I know why it's in there. I know why he put it in there and it's good.
Yeah.
But it's been the one thing that's kept me from doing it. I'm like, I'm not going to stop drinking my 3 glasses of bourbon a week at night before I go to bed. It's one of my only stress relievers.
One of my friends that's doing Squatober this year, he asked me, like, hey, do you want to do 75 hard at the same time? Like, start date at the same time. And right now, my current routine, I wake up every morning, work out Monday through Friday, and come home from work. And before my kid goes to bed, we take a mile-long walk around the neighborhood in the stroller. So that's fun. So there's my inside workout, my outside workout, blah, blah, blah. But I kind of said to him, I was like, I don't really think that I want to do the program, mainly for the fact of I don't want to be held to, like, that Saturday, did I do 2 workouts? On that Sunday, did I do 2 workouts? Like, I don't think I need that in my life. And yeah, my wife was pregnant for 9 months and she was drinking red wine. So I think she wants a drinking partner. So I'm going to be there for her.
Yeah.
So I decided I'll pass. But
listen, man, that's an awesome program,
yeah,
and the people that do it, you see massive changes, and I follow it,
Yep.
and I see it, and it's awesome. But, and like you said again, I kind of live most of that life anyway, every day. Some of the things that are on that, I do them anyway.
yeah.
I don't really do the 2 workouts in a day anymore.
But you are right now.
I am right now, but on a normal basis, I don't.
I feel like that program is made for people who need something.
Like a
to
restart,
keep them,
right?
Keep them in line, yeah. Like people who usually just do stuff on their own and they're doing fine. Probably just live by your own rules and actually get shit done by yourself. That's kind of like a good guideline for people who need it. So,
I agree.
I mean, I think it's good for anybody,
Yeah, me
really.
too.
I mean, the most disciplined fuckers in the world, that program will set your mind right for sure. And I'm not making excuses. I'm being brutally honest with you. I like bourbon, and I'm not going to stop drinking it to do a program. I'm just not going to do it. So, all right. I want to talk about some things we don't normally talk about on this podcast. And we've actually done podcasts like this before and just cut them because they sounded insanely retarded because I'm just not one of those dudes. But I feel like some of this stuff has gotten to a point now where we have to have conversations about it. Like just being quiet about it and watching it go by is doing more harm than good. And I'm not saying that everybody has to turn into some sort of stupid activist or regurgitate everybody else's shit on Instagram, which is what you see a lot right now. There's people out there that I've just stopped flipping through. I've like shut their feed off because I just got tired of looking at it from both ends.
Right.
It's just like, fuck, man. Like, stop posting somebody else's shit 8 times a day. Like, do something on your own. Say something on your own. How do you feel? What do you think? You know what I mean? Instead of just fucking, oh, share. Tag the person that did it. I mean, I do that. Everybody does it.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But not 8 times a fucking day. Every day.
so people have too much time.
I mean, one of the things that I wanted to make sure we talked about was sports. You know, you and I were having a brief conversation about it before we came in here.
Yep.
About the John Gruden thing. Now, none of us in this room, or anybody that's going to listen to this podcast, has anything to do with the Oakland Raiders, or Los Angeles Raiders, or Vegas, sorry. See? And my note actually right here says, woke sports. I only watched one baseball game. That's the honest truth.
The last Cardinals game?
The very last one, when they made the postseason.
You mean front to back?
Yeah, sat and watched the entire game.
Yeah.
I mean, I followed it. But, dude, I can't do it right now. I just can't. I can't get that passion to want to watch it with all the bullshit that's going on with it. I just can't do it.
I'm not going to lie. I'm the exact same. Like, this whole football season, I've watched a little college game day here and there, but I have not watched a full game front to back.
I think college football is like the least. Like, they're the ones that took zero. They're just playing college football, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't exist here and there. But for the most part, NCAA football is college football right now.
Yeah.
And they give zero fucks about capacity or anything else.
Yeah, they're just getting
zero.
after it.
But, like, pro basketball, football, and all this, like, I can't do it, man. I'm not saying it's not important. Like, what they're talking about is not important. But separate the two. If you're going to play baseball, let's play some baseball. Leave the rest of this shit out. Like, we were talking about the Kyrie, am I going to say his name wrong? Kyrie Irving?
That's good.
It's Kyrie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I think what he did was awesome. That's my opinion. I think what he did was noble, and he's going to take a lot of shit for it. He's going to eat a shit sandwich.
No doubt. But I think you and I were talking the other day. I think people just think, and Kyrie's trying to explain to people, he's like, it's not a political thing. People don't understand that, like, Kyrie Irving, like, lives almost a pretty much 100% plant-based diet. Like, he is in tune with, you know, what he wants to do with his body in all aspects. I think when he was with Boston, I got to meet one of, like, the chefs. We were, like, doing a practice there at their, like, training facility, and they were saying, like, how, like, strict he was with his, like, plant-based diet, and how when he had, like, joined the league, it was, you know, macaroni and cheese, green beans, and like a protein. And he had just completely made a 360, you know, flip and really broke down like every single thing that he's putting in his diet. So I don't even think people understand like he's not doing this because of that. He's doing this because of like what he is doing on a daily basis and has been doing on a daily basis with his body and routine. So it's wild. But he's caught in the middle in $188 million like contract extension or whatever that he's pausing or giving up.
Oh, I think I seen that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because somebody made a comment about him losing so much money over this.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Well, anyway, the Cardinals are out. The Braves are in, which means I give 0 fucks. Don't care who wins the World Series. I kind of want the Dodgers to win it so that Pujols wins another championship.
I'm torn on that because I want my ex-National boys on the Dodgers team to win another one, but I also don't like the Dodgers.
Well, I don't like the Dodgers either, but
I mean, I think it's good for baseball if the Braves are relevant again.
No. Get that out of here.
I mean, we need a good East Coast team again.
when is the next
Name another good East Coast team.
Well, it used to be the Nationals, and then they traded their whole team away. So
Yeah. I mean, you can't really.
I mean-
you wouldn't like claim Boston or New York right now. Like,
I don't like the American League.
yeah, like the Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you got a point.
Like we need somebody good on the East Coast.
When is the next baseball expansion?
You think we need another team? Nashville needs a team.
Charlotte needs a team.
there's no space.
What? They could
Yeah.
put that stadium out in Matthews, or they could put it anywhere in Charlotte.
Yeah.
Not in Charlotte. No way.
Yeah, on the perimeter.
Well, I mean, the Braves Stadium isn't in Atlanta.
Good point.
That's true. Well, in D.C., the stadium is in D.C.
If you were going to
awesome.
catch me wearing any other team's Major League Baseball apparel, there would have to be a pro sport, a ball team that went to Charlotte.
They have a minor league team.
Expansion team.
What about the MLS? MLS is in Charlotte now.
Man, does anybody watch MLS?
The U.S. played last night, and they almost lost to Costa Rica. It was really bad.
I don't know.
Come on, Noah.
Getting back to our conversation, and you and I were talking about this morning. You cannot honestly tell me that we're in a better place right now, across the board, just pick a lane, than we were a year ago. I seriously, I want to sit down and I want to have a serious, like, face-to-face, educated conversation with somebody who actually voted for this administration to come in and do the things that they did. And somebody's going to argue, well, we
It's
didn't know
not
they
the
were gonna do it.
administration's fault.
Right. Like,
You sure about that?
I know everybody's looking at me like, I don't know where you want to go with this, man. But I'm serious.
I was
Like,
yeah, I agree. And I was thinking the other day, like we're affected on a daily basis with clean eats, like just sitting right here, right now, clean eats with what's going on in the economy. Just call it the economy. And I was kind of like thinking to myself, like, how many people like in this country, like wake up every day and can truly say like they're not affected like greatly by like something that's going on like really bad in the economy, gas prices, schools, you name it, like whatever it is. I'm like, I'd like to meet the person and what they do for a living that's saying that they're not involved in something that's being changed
what
or
I'm
flipped
getting at.
upside down.
It's kind of what I'm saying. Like, this isn't a political, like, left-wing, right-wing, social justice, racial thing that I'm trying to explain here. Like, I am normally, until this election last year, I hated politics. I would never watch 2 seconds of it. Didn't care. The majority of me still doesn't. But I've reached a point now where I have to. I
Right.
think everybody has to. It's changed that. And it pisses me off that I have to do that. But, like, I have to pay attention to what's going on in the world now, instead of just focusing on what we're doing here, because all of that shit affects us, what we're doing here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Watching, like, any of the news channels is a joke right now. You can't do that.
Right.
But when I see a snippet of the sleepy old man on there and he leans over the microphone and whispers it, like, I think that's what irritates me the most, is his smug, pungent bullshit that you see, where he's like, I wrote the bill. And he does that shit like he's trying to be a smartass or trying to be funny. And it's like, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
I would say the same thing if it was somebody else and they did that. So it has nothing to do with because it's him. You know what I mean? And so I was listening to, I can't remember who this was, but I was listening to a podcast the other day, and they had a good point. Donald Trump wouldn't have been the answer either. Like, if he was sitting in that office right now, we'd still be dealing with the same shit. It might not be as drastic, but on the flip side, cities would still be burning. People would still be rioting over dumb shit. Like, it would be just that we'd have some of the same shit going on.
Right.
The question is, what's next?
I don't know, man. Like, supply chain is screwed up in every industry. It's affecting us. We can't get food. We can't get containers, because the workforce is non-existent. They literally don't have truck drivers and manpower to unload these cargo ships. They're just
quick enough.
backed up.
Good luck getting Christmas presents this year.
You
Seen our ports?
Yeah.
They are backed up.
Well, Yvonne and I have a really good friend who works for a cargo company, and this person actually drives a cargo ship, like a container ship.
Right.
That's exactly what they told me. They were like, the problem isn't like anything going on other than we literally don't have the manpower to unload them. They're so far backed up.
I think they have like thousands of ships just sitting in ports, just like waiting, like just sitting there because they can't get them in.
It's sad, man. I don't have an answer. I don't know what to tell people to do other than start voting intelligently. Like, I'm not pushing anybody to, this is a Democratic Republic thing, but do some research on who the hell you're voting for.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take. We almost need like a call to the country for people to come back to work and to work harder than they ever have. Like, because literally everybody's affected. Moms, kids are getting sent home. Got to go back to homeschool. Food, supply chain, everything like that. Like, it's all getting affected. We got to make like a call to help.
My buddy Tony, we've done a podcast with Tony Cowden before. Him and some guys started a pretty cool charity. They actually just launched it today. And what is today? I always say this kind of shit on a podcast and then I screw the
14th.
dates. So we're actually recording. It's Thursday the 14th. It's a nonprofit called the American Oath Initiative. And so what they're doing is it's nonprofit, but they're collecting money to back political candidates who are actually like protecting the Constitution. It's a really cool thing, and it's not like, I don't want to spoil it by trying to describe it. And
They're not already
like,
connected to politics, these
Yeah.
candidates? Gotcha.
So it's 100% veterans that are running this thing and dealing with it. It's a cool initiative. I'm really kind of stoked to see what he does with it and help him out any way I can with it. So if you want that link, I just put it up on my Instagram, so go check it out. Go check their page out. The other thing that I saw, and then I'll talk about something else here, but I saw something pretty cool. Mark Anthony, little kid from First Form. I say little, but he's actually pretty jacked. He just put an Instagram post up that talked about losing freedoms. And the way this kid described that, like, damn near gave me goosebumps on my arms when I was watching this shit. I'm like, that's legit. Like, the way he just fucking described that is exactly 100% spot on. So, I would...
Break it down. What was he touching on?
So he references his time in prison. He did five years in the pen. And so what he was talking about was people don't really realize their loss of freedoms because it's always the little things that you don't see. And he was talking about, you really need to go watch this story.
Yeah.
But basically what he was getting at was, his 5 years in prison, he almost felt free because he had 3 meals a day. He had a bed. He could roam around. They had TV. He got, hot shower every day. But, which if you compare it to the outside world, same types of things. And he, at the end of it, he mentioned the one thing that always reminded him that he was not a free man was he talked about getting up early, because he's like, it's always loud. Like there's always people talking. And I never got a moment of silence unless I woke up at 4 a.m. before anybody got up. And he was like, I had coffee. We had all of that shit. And he was like, I was in Gen Pop. Like this wasn't like a camp. This was prison. So he said, I had some of the same luxuries that everybody here has in the outside world. But the only time I knew I wasn't free was when I wanted to go outside and take a fucking walk. He's like, I just couldn't go outside. They made me wait. I don't know. You have to watch it, man. The way the kid did it, I was like, holy shit. I've never heard anybody describe this like this. And that he aired it like he aired out his shit. And it was cool.
Nice.
It was nice. I don't know. I had one more thing I wanted to do. I saw this link when I was drinking coffee this morning. I was like, I'm going to talk about this on the podcast. And I actually researched these companies, and they're legit. So,
Where is this going?
I have a list of companies here that are, they call it secretly owned by China. They're not fully owned by China, but China owns the majority equity stake in most of these businesses.
Okay.
So, General Electric,
GE.
GE. So, they're headquartered out of Boston. They were bought by a company called Haier, H-A-I-E-R. Their headquarters is in Qingdao, China. Who knew?
Interesting.
The next one, AMC, the movie theater, movie company. They're headquartered out of Leawood, Kansas. They were bought by Dalian, I don't know how the hell you say it. Wanda Group. That company, they're headquartered out of Beijing. Here's one that I was like shocked when I read it. Smithfield Foods. Smithfield Chicken and Barbecue.
Yeah.
North Carolina, baby. Nope. Headquartered out of Smithfield, Virginia. They were bought by a company called WH Group, which is headquartered in Hong Kong. IBM,
Yeah.
headquartered out of Armonk, New York. They were bought by Lenovo, which is headquartered out of Hong Kong. Here's one I actually had to look at. I didn't really think it was real, but General Motors, headquartered out of Detroit. They were, part of their company was bought by Shanghai Auto Industry Corporation, headquartered out of Shanghai.
The majority of it?
Like, they're public, right?
Yeah.
So that company owns the majority shareholder of their company.
Wow.
How do you think they got out of debt?
Spotify and Snapchat, both of these are the same, so I had them both. Headquartered in New York, bought by Tencent Holdings, LLC, headquartered in Shenzhen, China. Here's another one that I thought was shocking. Hilton Hotels. Headquartered out of McLean, Virginia, bought by H&A Group, headquartered out of Hong Kong. Yep, that was the last one.
Do you know when they bought all these companies? Does it say
I'd have
there?
to pull the link up. I don't even remember the name of the link. It was, I get that morning newspaper. There was a link in there on it.
Does that change your mind on using some of those
Listen,
platforms?
you know what? Somebody asked me that not too long ago about what I thought about, things that come from China and would I buy things from China? Yeah. I have nothing against buying things from China or things that come from China. It's almost impossible not to these days.
You wouldn't
Right.
use anything.
Yeah. I mean, in all realistic, you know what I mean? Like, I would say that was a good thing that our previous president did. He was making that a little bit better and improving that and bringing some of that stuff back to our own country. I don't think it'll ever go away. I mean, there's countries all around the world that make some really cool shit that everybody around the world shares and does. So, no, I have nothing against buying some of that stuff. Most of our restaurant equipment, the components of it is made in China.
Most of the things you're wearing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I have no issues with that. I just, my personal feelings on it, I wish that some of these companies would do everything they can not to go that route. But eventually, I wouldn't care if it was in Denmark or wherever. You know what I mean? Like, of course, I want everything made in America. I want that for sure. That's unrealistic now in
Right.
the world we live in. Regardless of all of the bullshit, I mean, it would just be very unrealistic. It's just not Not possible. It'd be awesome, but it's just not possible. I'm not getting away from Spotify. You guys made fun of me for months for not having Spotify.
I'm not either.
You didn't have Spotify Premium.
Yeah, there's a
So did you
difference.
upgrade to Premium?
Oh yeah, I've had it for a long time.
Okay, thank goodness.
I don't even listen to it.
It's about time.
Like I got rid of satellite radio in my truck.
Yeah,
I don't have that. I just use Spotify.
just connect.
God, you remember just walking into the Clean Eats garage gym and you just hear ads.
Not only ads,
Those Pandora ads.
Yeah.
not only ads, they were from St. Louis because I never switched it over.
Your zip code, yeah.
God.
So you would hear all these like
You get like emu on there. Yeah.
St. Louis businesses. What'd you say? Emu?
What's the pizza place?
Emos.
Emos. Doesn't matter.
It's a body blow.
Yeah.
All right, this was a good time. Go buy some Clean Truth or Dare cards.
Should we do one more
Cleans.com.
card
wanna
that
do
you
one
don't
more?
know
Shuffle
what's
it.
next?
You got
that
shuffle
you don't.
it. You got
Can I
shuffle
cut it?
Cut it.
Well, you got to pull the dares out.
All right.
All right.
And then he gets asked first, right?
Yeah,
Scott?
100%.
I'm gonna cut it again because I feel like Don's like a magician.
What you got?
What's your most embarrassing guilty pleasure?
Embarrassing is a bad word to use for me because I don't get embarrassed. I'm not embarrassed by anything.
Well, funniest guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
Do you go get your nails done?
No. No. I'm not like a pedicure nail guy. Guilty pleasure. I mean, eating cookies.
That's it.
I mean,
Ben? What do you got?
Embarrassing, I would say. Man, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to say. Embarrassing, maybe. I mean, people think it's kind of funny that I listen to country music when I work out. Like, and I love country music when I work out.
I don't mind it in the morning. I always thought you were weird for that too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that think.
And I
that's-
love country music, but I was like, man, 6 o'clock in the morning on a workout?
Yeah,
It's still weird.
exactly. What do you got, Scott?
I don't have like an embarrassing one, but lately we made the mistake of buying Halloween candy early for the kids in our neighborhood, and those Twix are just sitting on the counter, and I just walk by every single time and I grab one.
No Twix in Scott's nose.
So, okay, I'll
Those
add
kids
to
are
that.
not getting any Twix.
I'll add to that. I'll expand upon my answer. My Yvonne, I don't know why. Maybe it's just boredom. Maybe it's just like I got to do something with my hands type thing. But I'm bad about like if we're watching a show or something, I'll sit there for a minute and I'll get up, and I'm that guy that'll just go to the fridge and open it and just stare at it.
Just close it right away. Yep.
And like we've gotten to the point now where we have to like watch what we put in the house, because during those instances, Yvonne does it too. She just won't tell you. We'll actually like fucking eat it if there's like sweets or something in there. So we don't keep any ice cream in the house, no cookies, no sweets, no nothing. Like the only treat thing that we'll keep in our house is like a bag of like lime flavored tortilla chips. Because like you could eat a whole bag of those and still be in the ballpark of like,
Healthy-ish.
hey, I didn't just kill myself. So yeah, I'm really bad if I'm sitting at home and I don't have
You'll
anything
just
to
go
do.
stare at the
I'll go open the fridge and stand there and go, damn it, I wish we had something to snack on. And then I'll close the fridge, and our little snack drawers right here to the left are what used to be the snack drawer. Now we put bread and peanut butter in it. And I'll open it up, and I'm like, I don't want 4 handfuls of lime-flavored tortilla chips.
So then do you go back to the couch and you like lay back there and Yvonne looks over at you and you walked back with nothing? in your
Yeah,
hands
all the time.
and just
She's like, what do we got? I'm like, nothing. Nothing. Nothing.
I love it.
I think that's why I started drinking like diet sodas in the evenings after dinner, because the carbonation filled my stomach up and I didn't want to snack.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Anyway. All right, guys. Until next time.